Hello, Angeli.
Hi, Terry.
I've been thinking, we have in many ways so much to offer one another. And by that I mean people have so much to offer other people in terms of the thing they've learned and things they've experienced. But so often people are reluctant to share things. And I'd just like to explore that for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think people are reluctant to share their stories and their experiences?
Well, first of all, I think that's a great thought and a great question.
My specialty.
Certainly doing really good. But I think to start with, I would want to ask that question to myself as to what prevents, if any at all, from me sharing my experiences, whether it's just general life, something going good, something going not so good, or even my spiritual practices.
Let me stop you here and say I think this is very important that you're answering the question from a personal point of view. You're not just giving us an ad hominem answer about what you think, but you're really examining it personally. I think that's the very thing we're talking about.
Right, and so I would almost think, now that you said that, it made me think the first step is to actually question this from oneself. To say, what is preventing me from sharing a experience with someone who may find it useful? But I think one of the biggest obstacles in that is the fear. And it could be fear of being judged. If your perspective doesn't align with that other person's perspective, what are people going to say? What impact it's going to have on my reputation? All these factors prevent people from opening and talking about their experiences that may actually be useful to someone out there.
Right, and it's not just the fear of being wrong, is it? No, it's the fear of how others will see you.
Yeah, it comes back to being judged, and it's okay to have that fear to a certain extent. But when that fear becomes an obstacle in sharing, then one has to ask themselves, is this fear worth it?
Right, and in many ways it's a difficult question, because on the one hand, you want to honor others' sensitivities and be careful one doesn't offend them. And yet on the opposite side, you need to be honest.
Right.
And those things can generally sometimes be difficult to put together.
But I feel, like you said when you started this discussion, that each one of us has something to learn from each other.
Without question.
So everybody's a teacher and everybody's a student.
Well said. I think if we can keep that perspective, we can all learn a lot and be much better in the process.